So today I thought I'd take a look at something that I enjoy doing, and that's playing on systems or emulated systems that I've seen but never really had a chance to experience the games on. Now, a lot of these systems I've seen on my good friend Steve Benway's channel because he's got a lot of the more rarer systems such as the Memotech MTX and the Aquarius and also the Enterprise. Now, these are all systems I've seen in the magazines back in the day, but systems I've never played. So I do enjoy playing the emulators on for these systems. The issue we have with a lot of the more rarer systems is it can be fiddly and messy to set up emulations and get it working correctly, and sometimes very frustrating. Unlike, for example, the Commodore or the Spectrum or the Amigas, which are fairly straightforward emulation to set up and play, the Aquarius and things like that are a bit more difficult. But I found a way of doing it that is really simple and quick. So it involves utilising the Gamebase front end that's been out for a few years now. Now, you've probably all heard of GB64. That's the big Commodore 64 database where it's got all the games on, and the art and the cover art, etc., and the tape art and all the instruction manuals. So that is the front end we're going to be using. So the first thing you need to do is go to gb64.com, go to download, and we need to download the front end. So if we go to Gamebase front end, and it's just there at the top. So if you click on download, you can then download the front end. I think it's version 1.3 that we're currently on. The next thing we need to do is go to the Internet Archive, a great resource for all things retro. So if we type in Gamebase into the search, it will now list quite a lot of pre-configured Gamebase zip files that are really helpful for lots of systems. So with Archimedes, Arcadia, Coco Dragon, anything like the Amiga, NES, all the common systems, and also like the Enterprise there, look, some of the other systems, and the Aquarius. So the one we're going to download today is the Aquarius. So if you go to Aquarius and just download it and save it onto your hard drive, wherever you save it to. So the next thing we need to do is install the Gamebase front end. So wherever you've downloaded it to, just click on the setup and go through the setup as you normally would, setting it up and accepting everything. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it. I've already got it set up on my computer. So just remember where you've installed it to, though. I put it on like a basic drive, so I think it's on D drive, just on the Gamebase, so I know exactly where it is. This comes in handy for when we need to transfer the files we've downloaded from archive.org. So I'll just come out of that. Yes. So the next thing we need to do is go to where you've downloaded those files from archive.org and just go into the folder that's been downloaded. Now what you'll notice is all the files in this folder are all zipped up. Now what we need to do is unzip all these folders. So, and if we just go through them one by one and unzip them to, if you just unzip them to where you've downloaded them to, then obviously it's easier to find them and copy and paste them over to where you need them to go. So I'll just go through all these and then I'll come back in a second. So as you can see, we've now unzipped all the files that were in the zip folders above. Now the next part is quite important. You need to look for the file, or the file name that's MDB file. So as you can see, it's just there. So this is called Aquarius.mdb. Now when we create a new folder in Gamebase, this is important because it needs to be the same name. Right, so what we now need to do is go into where you've installed Gamebase, and you will see there is Gamebase, but we don't need to click on that yet. We need to click on the toolbox icon, which is just there. So we click on that, ignore this, click on OK. Now obviously I've already installed some, so please ignore these. When you open yours, it will just say Gamebases at the top. So if you right click on that, and we need to add new Gamebase. Now this is where it's important that we call it the same name as the MDB file. So Aquarius, so we call it Aquarius, and click OK. Now that has now created a folder in this file folder that called Aquarius. So if we come out of that and just go into the Aquarius, now you can see there is actually that file there, look, MDB, and that's why it's important that we name it the same thing, because what we need to do now is highlight all the files we've just unzipped, copy them and paste them into the Gamebase Aquarius folder, replacing the files that are already there. So once we've done that, we can shut that down. If we just go back into the main Gamebase folder, we can now click on Gamebase and it should bring up the Aquarius, which is there. Again, you have to ignore these ones because these are ones that I've already installed. But as you can see, there's some really good systems: Enterprise, Memotech, Tatung, all systems I've never played before. There's others as well. There's quite a few, like the Pet and things like that. So, but today's video is about the Aquarius. So, if you double click on the Aquarius, it should then bring you into this, which is like the Gamebase front end. And as you can see, all the screenshots and everything are already in there for us now. Now, one thing I always double check when I'm in here is just to make sure that the emulator it's using is linked to the right folder. So if you go to GMUs at the top and click on the different emus that it's selecting for this emulator, as you can see, mine is linked to Gamebase Aquarius emulators, which is the folder where it is at. If it isn't that one, you will just need to browse and select where it is. So normally it is under the Gamebase, the system name and the emulators folder, and you just click on that and it will link it for you. So click OK because that's linked right. And the last thing I just check is the Aquarius paths as well. Just make sure that the paths are exactly the same. So it's the Gamebase Aquarius and it's the games folder it's looking for, or the pictures or the extras. If, for example, it wasn't that, you can click on the one that is there, click on the cross, and then click on the this button then, and then just direct it to where the folder is that you want it to go to. So if we come out of that, and then I think this one, I think the joystick's already pre-configured. It's as simple as choosing a game. I've never played on this system, so I don't know what these games are like. Let's have a look. Night Stalker. So I'm going to just double click on it, then it will automatically do all this. I'm not touching anything on the keyboard. This is all pre-done. It's all part of the setup. It's doing it itself. And there we go. I can now play the game. Joystick's all configured. Now for some games the joystick's inconfigured. The joystick is not configured depending on the system. If the joystick was out for that system or whatever, so you might need to use the keyboard. But as you can see, it's playing the game fine, so the emulation is working fine. Now again, this is good because it gives you the chance to play systems you may never have played on before, as most people had the Commodore or the Spectrum. Oh, I got killed. But yeah, it's as simple as that. So, and to come out of it, just click on the cross, and if you want to go back, just come out of it, click on the cross again, run Gamebase, and then you can go into a different system if you choose to. And again, it's as simple as just clicking on the system name and selecting the game. So I hope this tutorial's been helpful for you. It's not an in-depth one, it's just a quick and easy one to get you up and running with games on systems that are harder to emulate. If you have any questions, then please comment below. Thanks for watching.